United States is quickly becoming one of the biggest stories of the 2026 World Cup after crushing Paraguay 4-1. Mauricio Pochettino's squad followed it up with a 2-0 win over Australia and has already secured first place in Group D. Suddenly, fans are beginning to ask just how far this team can go. Meanwhile, France has emerged as the team to beat behind Mbappé. Lionel Messi delivered the first World Cup hat trick of his career for Argentina. Oh, and by the way, broke the World Cup goal record with 2 goals against Austria. And Spain answered critics with a dominant 4-0 victory over Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde continues to shock the world. Canada earned its first ever World Cup victory with a 6-0 rout over Qatar. And Turkey has become one of the tournament's biggest disappointments after being eliminated without scoring a goal. Knockout stage is approaching, and the drama is only getting started. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is beginning to separate contenders from pretenders. It's been a fun one to watch, Frank.
No, it absolutely has. And at the moment, France is starting to look like the most complete team in the tournament. They opened up with a statement 3-1 victory over Senegal. Their attack looks terrifying. Kylian Mbappe scored twice, and he is surrounded by incredible talent, including Dembele, uh, Desiree Doué, and the bench with loaded with young stars. Quite simply, France may have the deepest roster. If they stay healthy, they might be the favorites to win the World Cup trophy for the third time.
Messi and Argentina are off to a dream start. At age 38, Lionel Messi continues to make history. In his sixth World Cup appearance, Messi delivered the first World Cup hat trick of his legendary career as Argentina began its title defense in style. Biggest question surrounding Argentina entering the tournament was whether an aging squad could survive the longer 48-team World Cup format. So far, that concern has been put on hold. Defending champions have looked sharp, and Messi is once again proving why he remains one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. And Frank, we saw it earlier on Monday. He scored 2 goals against Austria. And of course, the penalty kick, one that he, shanks to the right of the right post. It almost looked intentional, because that would have been the World Cup record goal if he made that. It almost seemed like he wanted to do it in real time. And you know what? Not only did he get one, he got another one in extra time. And Argentina won 2-0 over Austria to take a 2-win lead in the table that they're in.
Yep, absolutely. And Argentina is now also advanced into the knockout stages. So that's very impressive for him. And Messi has scored all 5 goals Argentina has scored. And they have a lot of good goal scorers, including Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. He's he's a key contributor for Inter Milan as far as goal scoring is concerned. So they've got guys who could score, but it's been all Lionel Messi so far. One thing that this tournament has been, though, is all the United States, not just because they're playing a lot of the games here. Perhaps no team has exceeded expectations more than the United States. After dismantling Paraguay 4-1 in the opener, the Americans followed it with an impressive 2-0 win over Australia. And that was without Christian Pulisic. Mauricio Pochettino's squad has already won Group D and can rest key players heading into the final match against Turkey, who have already been knocked out of the tournament. This team is playing with confidence, attacking flair, and a style that American fans have rarely seen. The question entering the tournament centered around the chemistry and whether Pochettino had settled on his best lineup. Those concerns have quickly disappeared, and fans are suddenly beginning to wonder just how far this team could go.
I mean, I haven't been on this planet as long as a lot of other people, but this has seemed like one of the best showings we've seen at a Team USA. I mean, and I don't want to, because we always get now in this day and age of like the recency bias. And so now all of a sudden, and you've seen it's been fun, like, oh, let's go win this thing now. Team USA, it's great. And I want to pump the brakes on that, but it's hard to fight some of those urges when you see them play as well as they have. It's not that they're just 2-0. It's the way that they have won and the way that they have adapted and the way that they've led to their attack and the athleticism this team has. And the other thing, we talked about it going into this tournament, the experience. They're not only young, they have experience in the World Cup, which I think is going a long way. They have the perfect combination of youth and experience that could get them into the final eight in this tournament.
Yeah, and this is also bucking a pretty recent trend of the host nation not really doing all that well in the tournament. South Africa got knocked out in the group stage in 2010. I can't for the life of me remember where 2014 was. 2018 was in Russia. Russia didn't last all that long. 2022 is in Qatar. They were knocked out in the group stage. So now you've seen Mexico already advance. The United States has already advanced, and Canada can advance with a good result in their next match. So it'd be pretty impressive to get all three host nations into the knockout stage, bucking this trend of the last 4 or 5 World Cups.
Brazil hosted in
Brazil, okay.
2014. But the other thing too, it's not just the United States, like Canada, Mexico. They've
Yeah,
done well
they've been
too. I mean,
incredible.
so all three of the host nations have looked really good, and all three of them lead the way in their respective groups. So it's been a fun World Cup, and you know what? There was a little scare with Spain
Mhm.
against Cape Verde, and Cape Verde is a small island off the coast of Africa that used to be controlled by Portugal. And this is a major upset that they had in time and have working to a draw with Spain. And it was, is Spain going to fold and fall apart here in the group stage, or is this the game that they needed to just snap into it and wake up? And La Roja responded.
Yeah, absolutely crushed Saudi Arabia 4-0, producing one of the most dominant performances in the World Cup so far. Young superstar Yamal scored, and Spain generated nearly 3 expected goals while controlling the match from start to finish. Germany has also looked very, very interesting so far. They secured a place in the knockout stage for the first time since winning the World Cup back in 2014 in Brazil, and appear to have rediscovered their identity under their new manager. And the momentum is beginning to build for one of international soccer's traditional giants. And we have seen, you mentioned Cape Verde before, there have been a couple of pretty big surprises in this tournament so far.
A lot of surprises in the tournament. It's been pretty fun. I mean, every World Cup needs that Cinderella story, and this tournament already has a few. Cape Verde continues to shock the soccer world as they have worked they've worked the draws. They stunned Spain. I mean, they took points off of Uruguay after that.
Mhm.
I mean, the tiny island nation is now on the verge of producing one of the most remarkable stories in World Cup history. And of course, San Diego FC fans, CJ Dos Santos is the backup
Yes.
goalkeeper. He might have to get pressed in action with all the saves that their starting goalkeeper has made. I mean, he might be tired carrying the team at this point, but they've done an incredible job. They've been fun to watch, I think, for a lot of casual soccer fans. Canada finally announced itself on the world stage. They're a host nation as well. Like a little eerie there in their first match. I mean, things got a little testy, but they're in their first ever World Cup victory, and they did it in a dominating fashion over Qatar. They won 6-0. Qatar itself rebounded from its disastrous 2022 tournament by earning the first World Cup point in the country's history, thanks to a dramatic draw against Switzerland. But with some of the Cinderellas, there are some teams that are under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, not everyone is celebrating. Portugal has been one of those teams. Cristiano Ronaldo made history as the oldest outfield player to ever start in a World Cup match, but Portugal's attack has struggled, and questions are beginning to mount. Belgium is looking old and vulnerable. They're still hanging on to some of those players from that golden era. Uruguay suddenly finds itself in danger after 2 disappointing performances, despite generating plenty of scoring opportunities. And perhaps the biggest disappointment of all is Turkey. Many considered the Turks to be a dark horse entering this tournament. Instead, they're out without even scoring a single goal in this tournament. So it's a very, very disappointing for the Turkish squad.
It's been a fun World Cup so far. On Wednesday, they will start the match 3 of the group stage round, and it will be closer to knockout stages here. And sooner it'll be here close to or sooner than you think. But right now, Team USA wins the group, which is good news. We do know that they will play Turkey at the end Thursday
Mhm.
of this week, and then after that, because they finished in first, they already have a date picked. They will play on July 2nd, on Thursday, July 2nd, for their knockout group. Who they play, that will be still to be determined, but we'll keep you updated here on the Braden Surprenant Show.